G'day lads, welcome back to another video on the channel. This video today is going to be an absolute banger. I am so happy that you clicked on it because it's going to help you massively in improving your weekend league score, in improving your FUT Champ score. I hope to double your current win-loss ratio with the tips that I'm going to provide you with today. I've been studying throughout the week what the pro players are doing, what formations they're using, what players they're using, and I've implemented a bunch of that into my weekend league, and so far I'm undefeated in the weekend league. And I really feel this is going to push your team on to the next level. So buckle up because this one's going to be a big impact video in changing the way that you play, and it's changed the way that I've played. So first and foremost, in left back, Mendy. Mendy has 75 defending, and you think, why on earth would you want to have this card in your team? All the pro players use him, and because of that 5-star weak foot, when you're under pressure, he's able to distribute the ball. He can feed it down the wing around the opponent's left back. He can win headers. He's rapid. I bullied Adama Traore's headliner card this weekend with Mendy. He's phenomenal, and I'm kind of a bit gutted, to be honest, that I didn't get him to my team earlier. But Mendy, he's the man that you want at left back, guaranteed. In centre back, to partner Mendy, next up is Longley. Longley is 16k, and there isn't a gold card that comes close to Longley. Longley is just a beast. You've probably played against him a bunch already, and I would imagine a lot of you have him in your side right now. Militao is the next centre back, and sorry, it goes that way. Militao, I'm sure you're aware of how good Militao has been. As the game progresses, he's probably one of the weakest links in this team. This is only a 200k team. There are other options that you could put in to upgrade him. For instance, you could have Varane there, who is definitely better and will be slightly better for chemistry, but every single player in this team is going to be on 10 chem bar 1. So Militao is rock solid, is still very good, but he's probably one of the first players I'd look to upgrade as you progress on and try and get more competitive in champs and rivals. When it comes to upgrades, Varane, first protocol, or if you can get 6 icon swap tokens, look to get Hierro in there, another great player to have, who will also allow you to still get 10 chem on everyone. In goals is ter Stegen. So ter Stegen, best gold card when it comes to a goalkeeper. No one comes close. He saves with feet. He makes just ridiculous saves. The amount of times I've been caught yelling at the screen and saying, like, what on earth is that? Cursing EA's name because ter Stegen is a tank in there. If you can't afford ter Stegen, then your next best bet is Areola. So Areola is 50k cheaper than ter Stegen, and he's that broken gold card this year that people just use. It's kind of like in the past we've had like Jack Butland. He was the broken gold card in net in years gone back earlier. Well before he was at Arsenal, Leno was one of the broken gold card goalkeepers. De Gea's always been kind of that saves with feet and broken keeper. But Areola is like your really cheap broken goalkeeper. But when it comes to the 200k budget, get ter Stegen in there. I just don't have ter Stegen right now, so I've got Areola there. But ter Stegen's the guy in this 200k team. In right back, this man, again, he's played, I think, 850 games in Kurt's. If you're familiar with Kurt, the pro player team, he's still in his team right now. While he's got Hullet and Vieira and Eusebio and all these players, he still has regular Smedo at right back, and he still has regular Mendy at left back. That's how good these two defenders are. So Smedo comes into the team at right back, and yeah, he's up there with the best when it comes to right back, unless you're pushing onto icons and things like that. In right wing, we're going to be using Gareth Bale. Bit of a surprise on there. He's actually going to play left mid in our 4-2-3-1 formation. Going to be really good to drive down the line, do those stop cutbacks, driven cutbacks across the box, and he's got that composure to find the pass in those areas. He'll be very useful for you, and also winning the ball back. He's got that like source to him where he wins headers, he wins tackles, the ball just sticks to him like a magnet, and he's going to be there to assist. He's not here to score goals for your team, he's here to provide assists. If you've played 20 games and he's not on at least 10 assists for you, I will be worried in how you're playing in this formation, and I need to have a look at your gameplay style. Next up, in centre midfield, I have his Footmas card, but just his regular 84 rated card, Arturo Vidal. This man is the highest rated regular gold card in game. So he has the most in-game stats out of any regular gold card. Talk about another pro player, Boris Legend, the Red Bull player. I had a comment kind of back and forth in one of his videos, and he said that he's the best card that he's used as a cheap card this year, and one of the last men he would take out of his team in his road to glory. So just goes to show how good Arturo Vidal is. Now, with the link between Vidal and Smader, you're probably a little bit shocked that I didn't have Dembele in here at right wing. Dembele actually is in the squad, but he's the one player in the side that's playing off chemistry in left wing. So he's actually going to get 6 chemistry in our team, and he'll still adequately fit into the side at left wing with 6 chem. You will need to have him in a right wing. I've obviously got him as a right mid there for my other team that I'm using in Champs right now. But right wing is the way to go, and you'll need a French manager. If you can get Zidane in here as your manager with La Liga, that's what you want. That's the way to do it. That'll make sure every single person's on 10 and he's still on 6. Now at striker position, you might have just seen this card in my squad, and that is Antoine Griezmann. He is the highest in-game stat gold card when it comes to an attacker. Exceptional around the box when it comes to just scoring goals around the box. I also just want to have a quick chat about what I've seen the pro players do and what I've been trying to implement into my game to mimic what they're doing to score more goals, and that is left stick dribbling, easing up a little bit on the skill moves and focusing more on left stick dribbling and sometimes holding in the right bumper or R1 if you're on PlayStation whilst doing that. And also focusing on holding in right bumper or R1 and doing drag backs. So dragging the ball back to transition out diagonally and back and forth. Definitely how you see all of them break down defenses. So really important to start focusing on that, and he's going to be great for that in the area which we play him in the 4-2-3-1, which I'll show you shortly. Finishing off here, the next 2 cards are probably some of the weaker links in the team, but they're still very good for the price point that we're at for 200k. So firstly, in the centre mid area here, we're actually going to have a headliners card. So the headliners card that we'll be using is Sanson. I've just got his basic version here. I'm a little tight for cash right now, but his 84 rated headliners card is kind of across the board. He can defend, he can pass, shoot, he's got stamina, he's got the lot, and it's extremely cheap. His headliner card right now is sitting at 30k on PlayStation, 28k on Xbox, and they're exceptional stats. Got that nice little orange bit of flair, bit of color into your team as well if you care about that sort of thing. But Sanson, you can't go wrong with him. And then he's actually going to provide us with a strong link into our centre midfielder, who isn't a centre midfielder. So make sure when you pick this man up that you manage to buy him as a centre mid, or a cam centre mid ideally, because that will get him maximum chemistry, and you should be able to get him as a centre mid very close to, if not the exact same price as his regular card, and that man is Ben Yedder. So we want to get Ben Yedder into the team at centre mid, and he will be on 10 chemistry. Now, as I said, I'm very tight for cash right now, so I actually don't have the 10k that I need for Ben Yedder. So instead, I'm going to put in someone to mimic him in Yedro. So my cash is tied up in a few little areas here, and if I don't put in the exact player, then I can't show the custom tactics. So that's why I didn't just put in his concept player. Nonetheless, onto custom tactics. So once you have this team built, I want you to play the 4-2-3-1 in game. It's the formation that the pro players are using the most. So 4-2-3-1. If you don't know how to put on custom tactics, by the way, I'm just going to take it back a step here as well, for the benefit of those that are kind of newer to the game. Left trigger for squad actions, or L2 if you're on PlayStation. Down to custom tactics, and then this will allow you to use your D-pad in game to change to the players that you want without having to press start and sub people on and off. So we're going to, in the top corner, you can see edit game plans, left trigger or L2 on PlayStation. Pick whatever one you want to put it on. Today we're going to use the defensive one, so we'll be pressing our D-pad left once the game's kicked off. In defensive style, you can see I've already gone and set up my tactics here. You'll notice that it's on balanced, and you'd think that a lot of the pro players have it on drop back and have it on long ball. Some of them do, others just leave it on balanced and then act accordingly within the game based on whether you've gone ahead or gone behind. So I'm going to leave that up to you, whether you want to have that on drop back and have that on long ball. If you're playing on long ball, make sure when you're moving into the final third and starting that counter attack that you're constantly pressing Y to feed the ball in front of the player, because if you're pressing A passes when you get into that final third, it's going to be feeding behind them and they're going to be running beyond the ball, and centre backs will clean that lot up. So that's up to you as to what you want to do there. As I said, the pros act accordingly based on the result of the game, but you need to make sure that you bring these back from being the middle area to at least 3. Some of the pros play like on 2 and less, but 3 is kind of a good base point so that people are coming to feet. And for now, I would leave that on balance until you get a little bit more confident with your play style, particularly in the 4-2-3-1 formation. So formations, you need to go ahead and select 4-2-3-1 from 4-3-3. As you can see, I've already set up these custom tactics, but 4-2-3-1 is a formation. And then down the bottom, you see it says swap player Y, or that'll be triangle on PlayStation. So you need to move some players around. I've already gone ahead and moved the players around into the positions that I want. We've got Ben Yedder at striker. That 5-star weak foot is going to be extremely important in finishing all of those chances. We can go left or right, keep the opponent guessing. Make sure when you're inside the box, shooting with him, that you steer clear of finesse. If you're finessing in the box at present, and you'll notice the keeper is making a lot of saves that they wouldn't make if you were to drive those shots. You don't need to use low driven. You don't need to use time finishing. You can turn that off. But make sure you drive the shots in the box. You'll hear people constantly refer to near post OP. It is good and strong to finish near post, but you need to watch where the keeper is. As you progress through divisions and you play FUT Champions, people will manually move their goalkeeper. So you need to finish where the space is and try and finish first time where possible. As soon as the ball lands to that striker, if they're in a position to finish and they have that 5-star weak foot, hit the shot immediately. Don't take that touch unless it's needed, unless you need to take that ball roll to find space and time. I have Dembele at right wing. I've moved him to right wing. You can definitely have him in the central area here and keep Griezmann out on the right if you'd like. I'm very confident with Griezmann in the central area. I think he does a fantastic job of tight net dribbling and drag backs, but these two are very much so interchangeable and up to you. And of course, we've already talked about White Bales on the left. Your CDMs, headliners Sanson and Vidal, you can of course look to improve and upgrade them over time. You can bring Sissoko into this area. You can bring Kante in here. Kante is a machine. He's an animal. He shines, particularly in the later parts of games, from the 70th to 90th minute. Kante is just a wizard in there. His stamina, his aggression, his composure. Definitely one of the first upgrades you want to bring in if you can get Kante into your team. And then your back four stays as is, and you'll be looking to try and get to Stegen in net instead of Areola if you can afford him at 200k for the whole squad. With the instructions on your players, a few things to note. Make sure that you change your attacking runs to stay back while attacking on both your left back and right back. It's something that all the pro players pretty much so have, or at least the good pro players. Your CDMs, if you could change them to cover centre on both of them, extremely important. As to whether you have them on cut passing lanes or balanced or man mark, that's up to you. I like cut passing lanes, but there's a bit of debate as to what's the best there. Make sure your striker is on stay central. You can have him on either target man or get him behind. Depends on your play style. I like target man. I like my striker to get as tight as possible to the centre back. I don't really like my striker coming to my feet too much, nor do I like them running away too much. I want them up nice, neat and tight to that centre back so that I can turn the centre back and then send the striker on the run on my own discretion by using left bumper or L1 if you're on PlayStation. And then when it comes to your cam, lastly, you can have them on stay forward and aggressive interceptions if you want. If not, leave them on balanced. And I don't really do a lot to my left mid and right mid. You can get them to drift wide or free roam and that sort of thing, but I don't do a lot here, especially because these guys don't have the greatest stamina in the world. So I use them when needed in the game, and they're some of the players that I would look to sub in and out over time for other players that have that extra stamina in the latter parts of the game. That is the squad. They're the custom tactics. Make sure you save those before you exit out, otherwise it won't work in game. I've been caught once or twice forgetting to save, so yeah, just ensure that when you've done that and you've made any tweaks to your custom tactics, that when you back up, it should often ask you if you want to save, and then just press yes, and that'll save those. And then when you're in game, all you've got to do is just press the D-pad to the one you want, and they will change to the 4-2-3-1 formation, and this team will get you wins. This team is very good. Trust in that defense. It's a wall. These two CDMs will be handy for you. Feel free to have Sissoko on the bench. Feel free to have Kante if you can get him in, Varane, any of your icon players. If you're lucky enough to have players like Kent or Orsic's current objective card, if you can bring him into your team to score goals. And of course, if you can get someone like Son in, if you can afford Heung-min Son, what an exceptional striker that you can definitely bring in there as opposed to Dembele. And lastly, if you're really on a budget, then I'd look at Aguero. Aguero is about 70, 80k. He's a great finisher and someone that you could bring in. So at that price point there. So yeah, Aguero, Son, Kante, they're the kind of upgrades that you'd be looking to get in. Particularly if you want to push this on to a 300, 400, 500k team and really start to take it to the next level. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this long video. I hope this will help you improve and get more wins. That's all from me. Please subscribe to the channel if this has helped you in any way, and share it with your mates if they play foot too and you want to help them get better at foot. That's all from me, guys. Take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.